All right, welcome folks to another edition of our Zoom Up. It's our meetup on Zoom. My name is Michael Huggins, coming to you live from Tennessee. I got my co-host out in Chicago. What's up, Scott?
Lucky to be here. Lucky to be here. I'm just hooking the wagon to the Phenom. Michael Huggins.
Yes, we got some great stuff happening. So folks, we are bringing you this video series to inspire you and take your life and transform it from a life of default to a life of design. We have an amazing library of past videos. And the idea behind this is you can take control of your life if you get educated, surround yourself with the right people, and get focused in real estate and entrepreneurship. Take back control of your life. It happened for me. I was working at Jiffy Lube, making about $20,000 a year. I met this group. In my first deal, I made more money than I made 21,000. That was more than my entire year at that stupid job, and I haven't had a job since. It's been 10 years. Done a lot of more deals, and but today's not about me. It's about a student that we're featuring. Scott, give the folks a little bit of your background, and then
I was making 10 times that, actually. 20. I was making 210, 212 was my last job, 212,000 a year. And the paradigm shift was technology. So they started selling stuff off the internet. They didn't need me running 4 states full of sales guys. I'm like, see you later. Met my wife in that company. So we both lost our jobs in 2005. And then 2 years later, we found this group having lost everything. So, and everything's changed. We have now helped over 15,000 people all over the country, helped open up 26 of these buildings, helping people do real estate around the country. And it's been fantastic. So
it is so much fun to be able to watch people use this process and change their lives. So we're bringing you another story. If you want to go watch, we got another 90 plus episodes in the library. Go check those out. And then for those of you who are wanting to learn more, you're going to get back with the person who invited you here and request access to, we have an intro coming up. We have a live house tour coming up where you can walk through the deals of the students that are working with us. And then we also have a couple workshops coming up. Either one of those, there's some recordings, but if you can get to the live ones too, that's also very important. And then just as a side note, real estate is risky, folks. So you need to dot your I's, cross your T's, surround yourself with professionals, because if you don't, you could lose a lot of money. Fair?
Yep. Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right, so we're doing a special edition today. We actually have 2 people on. I'm going to have Bill. Now, you've heard Bill's story in the past, amazing transformation, but he's been working closely with Corrie, so we're going to have him tell us a little bit about our guest today. And so I'm going to bring him out right now. Mr. Bill Predabon, take it away.
Hey, you got me loud and clear?
Yep, go for it.
That's awesome. Thanks for the opportunity. Fantastic. Great to be here. You guys are inspiring and hilarious. You got your own little talk show going. It's kind of funny to see you guys go back and forth. I'm jealous. I'm not a part of it, but I'm glad I'm here as a special guest today. So my story is not important. What's important is the person I'm going to introduce you to, and she is going to share her and her husband's journey over the last couple of years or so. I was fortunate enough, you guys, to meet her through my real estate investing community that we have here in Phoenix, which of course Scott alluded to, setting up, buildings like this and offices all across the country in most major cities and just all over all 50 United States. And so Corrie is one of our team members. She's one of our Renatus, I don't know what I'm saying, one of our investing partners, if you will. And I got the opportunity to meet her just over 2 years ago. And one of the things that sticks out with Corrie, and I can't wait for her to share stories, is when we started working together, she had the biggest goals on a piece of paper. And naturally, my mindset is, and our mindset, I'm taught, you guys are, bring this on us all, is just, the sky is the limit. There is no limit. There's no limiting beliefs. And, who am I to tell Corrie what she can and can't accomplish? So I was excited. I was excited to see her goals that were, huge goals, and her, her husband is interested in, I won't share, tell her story, but getting out of his position and worried about his position, even though he's got a fantastic career. And so, she may have fallen short on a goal or two, but I will tell you, when you hear her story in her first year and then her second year in her real estate, not 10 years down the road, but in a very short, long period of time, what she was able to accomplish. And so, one of the things that my team and my investment partners notice about Corrie is her drive and her desire and her never willingness to quit, and never having a willingness to quit, and just her her ability to just keep moving. And I'm sure she'll share that with you. So I'm excited to bring out Corrie Behar. She's a true friend of mine. We spent a lot of time in the beginning, and it's so funny. One of the things that's so powerful is when people are humble enough and willing enough and able enough to just ask for a little bit of help. But within a very short period of time, she stopped texting. She stopped calling as much. She stopped, and she was out doing it on her own. And that's the transformation that we help, is we just have a hand up, and pretty soon the people we work with all across the country exceed what we're even doing. So Corrie, with that, Corrie Behar, everybody give it up and listen to this story, take some notes. And I'm just super excited to hear about it.
Welcome,
Yay.
Corrie.
Thank you, Corrie.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, Bill, thank you. That was an amazing introduction. It really kind of puts things in perspective from, that reminder of where we started just a few years ago. But a real brief background of my husband, Ron, and I. He is actually sitting over here working beside me in the office. We were investors unsuccessfully for many, many years. We didn't know what we didn't know. And every market we ended up relocating to, we would be like, okay, we're going to invest. Our friends are investing, and we just kind of surrounded ourselves with investors, not knowing that was the case. And every market, something happened, and we never came out on top, enough to call it a win. And we lost in a lot of markets. We lost in the downturn. We had rental properties, and we have all the horror stories that we could share. But when we got to Arizona, again, we found ourselves kind of surrounded by investors, and we started asking, okay, what's different? What's different about your situation? Because they had similar backgrounds. Circumstances happened. They lost money. They made a little money. They lost jobs. It's just the way the market rolls. And fortunately, we were able to have a very, very long conversation with Bill at one point, 3 hours, if I recall correctly, Bill, sitting at our dining room table. And as we were being introduced to the community and the education and the support that it provides for us, and we attended several events that piqued our interest and our curiosity. It's like, okay, this is different. This is different than anything we've heard before, seen before. This community, they really seem to care. And it took Bill, like I said, 3 hours sitting at our dining room table, answering a lot of questions and helping us realize that we were going to be able to reach our goals. We were going to be able to do what we set out to do. And we had goals of getting my husband retired by 50, which is this year, retired to the point that he doesn't necessarily have to work. I'm not sure we're going to hit that goal specifically, but we're shooting for it. And if some things that we have in the works play out, that's still a definite possibility for us. But our first year in the community, like Bill said, I was texting him practically every day, nonstop. He definitely had some serious patience in answering me, because I was a pest. I absolutely was. And we did a couple of wholesale deals. They were supposed to be flips, but it didn't work out that way. So we took the quick win. We took the wholesales and moved on. We had some very, very large goals for 2019, and we fell a little short, but that's okay, right? You make those big, hairy, scary goals and hope that you hit them. And if you don't, you just circle back around and refocus for the next year. And as luck would have it, the end of 2019, we were able to purchase 3 rental properties, well under market value. And one of them was a duplex. It was an Airbnb. COVID came around in early 2020 and put a screeching halt to all of that. So we had to change our strategy quick and make those long-term rentals. We were able to collect rents during COVID. And for the most part, we had a couple of months that we had a tenant with an issue, but they took and took things in their own hands and put a plan in place to get everything taken care of. And then in December of 2020, we actually sold all of those properties to capture the additional equity that we had. And we actually had an 85% profit in a year. Obviously, that's not a very typical result. Most people don't see those kinds of results.
Tell us, what does that mean? What does 85% profit mean?
So we were able to recapture all of our investment plus 85% profit on the sales.
Oh, gotcha. Wow.
So
I've got a question. I got a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so and this is going to be good because we use these recordings for people that might have a situation, right? So somebody listening to this might say, "Oh man, I know exactly who to send this to." So the difference is, like, you'd attempted real estate. It seems like you had some stick-activity around that, right? Like, this is going to be the way to go, right?
Absolutely.
You're trudging on against that wind. But what's the difference? If you could give me bullet points, just bullet points of the difference between what you'd experienced before, because you said it, you're like, there's something different going on here versus what's going on here in this community. Can you bullet point that for me?
Oh, absolutely. I can tell you 100% that the difference for us was the community and having the support of mentors, leaders, coaches, and successful people like yourselves that we can follow in your footsteps. And if we have a question, we can reach out to you. And I know I've reached out to both of you guys in the past as well. And I mean, you didn't know who I was. It was just a random text, and you answered me and helped me when I needed help. And I'm very appreciative and I'm very thankful for that. Because honestly, that was the missing piece for us, is not having anyone who could answer the questions and not having the resources available that we didn't know we needed, and learning what that was and what that looks like to be successful. And it's truly made a significant difference. And I can tell you that 2021 is shaping up to be 2 or even 3 times better than 2020 for us.
So are you doing more flips? Or are you doing more rentals? Tell us what your focus is.
So right now we have 4 flips in the works. And Bill and I are evaluating a large multifamily flip in Indianapolis that we're working on as well.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
and go ahead, Scott.
Yeah. So another question that, as you were speaking, I wrote down. I'm getting better at this, Michael, aren't I? Actually taking notes. It's incredible. I'm growing too. All right. So
Nice.
you'd said I had some huge goals, some very large goals. You said large. I had some very large goals in 2019. And what did you actually, what were those goals? Like, there may be some people on the line here. They're like, hey, I have those same kind of goals. What were yours like? And then what did you actually hit when you talked about it?
Yeah. So some of our goals were to make our first $100,000 profit in real estate. And we didn't make that in cash. However, we did make that in equity.
Okay.
So in 2019, we did capture, which was our first full year. We joined at the end of 2018 is when we were introduced to the community. And in 2019, we did get over $100,000 in equity.
Okay.
And along with
you became worth more than $100,000 then, right?
Exactly.
Right. So I always say that, and I want to say this on the line because you brought it up. Because the minute you sign on docs, the easiest way to become a millionaire in America isn't to make the money like you're suggesting, like, oh, I'm going to make $100,000, right? The easy is not to earn or save it. The easiest way to become a millionaire in America is to do exactly what you talked about, close on it, right? Closing on $1 million, like signing docs and going, oh, look, I just became $20,000 worth $20,000 more on this house, and then 45 in this house. Oh, look, 67 on this house, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you see that as a win, because a lot of people are like, oh, I just need cash. But I mean, the longevity of this game is not what you make, it's what you're worth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I see somebody in the chat box asked if it was a 1031 exchange, and they were not actually 1031 exchanges. All of those properties were held in our solo 401k, which we had no idea that was even a possibility until we met you guys and went to some of the workshops that are offered. We were like, hey, what's this? This is an interesting strategy. And we were able to capture all of that profit in the solo 401k that we have, and therefore it's tax free. And we didn't have to identify another property, and we were able to quickly switch strategies and flow with the market.
And that's control.
It is.
That's what this is about.
Absolutely.
So, and that's a good point too, because you had already been doing deals before for several years to then find out something as powerful as retirement accounts combining with real estate, and being able to
Absolutely.
open up that whole new world. So, way to stay coachable. That's one of the keys to success here.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. And we learn, I'm on calls like this every single day with you guys. And I listen to both of you in the morning. So I double up. I have 2 hours of calls in the morning, most mornings, and because of the time difference. And it's pretty awesome to be able to learn from everybody around the country. I mean, I've reached out to people even in Hawaii and Alaska.
Nice.
Because we've had interesting things that are, brought our way that cross our desk. And we're like, hey, all right, well, what's this area like? I don't know those areas. So it's nice to be able to have community members and support to be able to reach out to.
Yeah, that's what did it for me too.
Yeah.
Definitely hear you there. So had you bought or enrolled in other program real estate trainings? Were you like, tell us, like, were you reading books or were you just kind of going off neighbor rumors? What were you doing?
No, we just kind of winged it. We were going our own way. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. That's the right expression for sure. It was like, oh, we knew that going to these weekend seminars, that they were not what we were looking for. We knew people who had gone through them. And for us, we knew that that was not the right way. That was not the right path for us. And so we were just learning from others, following other people's paths. But the problem is when you follow random people who learned from random people, you don't always get all the pieces that you need to be successful.
Yes, there are several pieces.
And, unless those random people happen to be very knowledgeable and able to give you your, all the tax information that you need, and all of the solo 401k information that we didn't know about, or self-directed IRA, or all the little pieces, the contracts, and you don't know. Off-market property, I never heard of that before. How do you buy a property without a realtor? I didn't know. We bought all our stuff from a realtor. That's what we knew.
And
You
so
don't know, you don't know what you don't know. Sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly.
What was your previous career before getting into real estate?
Jack of all trades and master of none. No. So I worked in the engineering field for a while. I worked in the legal field for a while. I was an entrepreneur. I had several different businesses. MLM businesses, not the way to go. MLMs are some of them, I guess, if you get in at the right time, they can be very, very successful, which is another reason why I really like you guys, because I hear, the guru things, and they're like, oh, it's this MLM or that MLM, and, all their marketing crap that they do. And it's not here, there's no pushes to be more than you want to be. We take the real estate and we become successful with it. And that's what I love doing with you guys.
What's your husband do?
He is an engineer.
There you go. He's like Michael.
Engineering, things together. Nice. Well, cool. So to recap this whole thing, you basically were bumping your head against the wall for years, losing money.
Absolutely.
You never lost the passion to take control of your life. And then you finally bumped into someone inside of our community. You saw the difference, and now things have just exploded for you in a big way.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, way to go, not giving up. Because I know some people, after one deal, they would just give up. So
yeah, it's not my nature, fortunately, or unfortunately. I'm not sure which.
Nice. Well, cool. Well, this is exciting. And so future's looking bright. Bring your sunglasses.
Okay, so
can't-
let's say you had, so somebody on the line here is hearing this for the first time. Somebody just sent this out to an engineer out there, right? So yeah, I've got an engineer friend that should hear from an engineer.
Right.
So what's your advice? Like speak engineer speak. What do you like about this program as a person, or your husband's an engineer? You tend to be that type of person right now. So as an engineer, as an intellect, what do you love about it?
I love that it's systematic, and that for us is very important because we thrive on systems and functionality, but it doesn't have to be systematic. So we have friends in the community who do not have that same mindset, and they're still just as successful because you get to learn through your own style and connect with people who are like-minded. And because our community is comprised of so many different people from so many different backgrounds, there's always somebody who can help you understand what you need. If like if Michael can't explain it to me in ways that I understand, I can call Scott and he'll explain it to me, or Bill.
Yeah. You got options.
Maybe. All right. So here's what I love. Let me just clarify that for a second. Everybody's benefiting from the system. They just might not see that as the reason, right? Like you see it as the reason you're successful. There's definitely a system here. There's definitely, even my wife, who's a relator and loves people, is benefiting from a system. She uses them to put together big parties and regionals. So, but it's not what she enjoys about it, right? The reason I'm asking you is because as an intellect or an engineer, I knew that was the answer for you. It was system, right? I mean, the classes for me were paint by numbers. Like, hey, do this, and then do this, and then do this, and then do this, and then, and then I could just hop on coaching to add to the system. So, yeah.
You got the system, unbeatable, and it's working around the country. Thank you so much for spending some time with us and answering some of our questions. Please stick around for the bonus round. We got 2 bonus questions for the live folks here, and congrats to you and your husband. This is exciting stuff. Thank you for your contributions to our community down in Arizona, and of course nationwide on the online platforms as well.
Yeah, thanks, Corey. I appreciate it. I will see you in the morning.
Absolutely.
All right.
Bright and early at 7 a.m. Arizona
baby.
time.
Bright and early.
Yeah, right on. All right, folks. So now that we're wrapping this one up, it's your opportunity to get back with the person who invited you here. Request that you get invited to these intros, house tours, and workshops. Between Scott, I, and a couple other team members, we host almost 200 live house tours a year, all around the country, all different kinds, commercial, land, wholesaling, fix and flips, Airbnbs, everywhere in between. So join us, get linked up with us, schedule a strategy session, get your questions answered. If you got a lot of questions, we got all the answers. We're an open book. We'd love to share this with you. So I look forward to meeting all of you and supporting you in your dreams. So with that, we'll wrap it up. See you guys later.
Thanks, Corey.